This is something that happened a few years ago when I was covering a shift for a friend. I used to work at this gas station before, but I always worked the day shift and never the night shift. It was only after working the night shift that I found out where the employees slept. We slept in the section of the store that sold supplementary products and gifts for points. I'm sorry, but I don't know the official name for this area, because it sells all sorts of things: car maintenance products and daily household items. Let's just call it the shop. The walls of the shop are all made of transparent glass, so you can see outside from inside. Of course, the shop is closed at night, and the lights are off, so it's dark inside. I hadn't been back in a long time, and the environment had changed quite a bit. There are 2 people working the night shift. Since it's night, there usually aren't many cars coming to refuel, so we can take turns sleeping, unless there's an emergency. What's an emergency? It's when cars and motorcycles suddenly come in all at once, and the number of vehicles suddenly increases. Since no one can predict when this will happen, we just call it an emergency. In such cases, you wake up your coworker to help, and then go back to sleep afterward. My coworker for the night shift was Zhao Zhang. I didn't know him very well, but he was easy to get along with. He let me sleep first. I was sleeping soundly when suddenly I felt cold and woke up from the cold. I opened my eyes and was shocked by what I saw. A woman was standing next to me, coldly staring at me while I slept. I said to her, "Sorry, I'm just covering a shift today. They told me I could sleep here." She remained expressionless and then turned around and walked toward the wall, disappearing in front of it. I told myself, maybe there's a door there, and I just didn't see it because it's dark. Her appearance completely woke me up. I checked my phone. It was 2:45 a.m. I thought maybe things had changed since I last worked here, and she might be a new employee or the manager. I didn't think much more about it and went outside to find Xiao Zhang, who was watching anime. I don't understand anime, so I didn't know what he was watching. Xiao Zhang said, "You're up early. Can't sleep? Then I'll go sleep now." I asked him, "Do you have female employees working the night shift here?" Xiao Zhang said, "Huh? What female employees?" I continued. "Or is there a female boss or something?" Xiao Zhang replied, "No, it's just you and me here. If you're not going back to sleep, I'll go now." After he went to sleep, I was keeping watch when I convinced myself that the woman was a living person, maybe a nearby resident who just looked scary. She wore white clothes and had a pale face. Since I was new, she might have been checking on me. To pass the time, I played the first version of Angry Birds on my old HTC phone, which drained the battery quickly. I got tired of playing and lifted my head to stretch my neck. Suddenly, I saw someone standing at the motorcycle fueling area, staring at me without moving. Since there were only the 2 of us working the night shift, the motorcycle fueling area wasn't open, and the lights were off. It was pitch dark there. I vaguely saw a person standing there and told her, "Sorry, motorcycles fuel here. That area is closed." She didn't move and kept staring. I repeated, "Hello? Sorry, but motorcycles fuel here. That area is closed." She remained motionless. I thought I might have seen it wrong, so I walked over. I can't describe the situation exactly because I know the layout and the circumstances best. It was so dark I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. When I got closer, I thought it was trash. I mumbled, "Who's so inconsiderate to throw trash here?" I reached out to pick it up, only to realize it felt like clothes, not a plastic bag. I remember the texture of the clothes very clearly to this day. Then I heard a girl's laugh. Hee hee hee. And with a swoosh, the clothes disappeared from my hand, as if someone had snatched them away. I immediately ran to find Xiao Zhang, who was supposed to be sleeping. I went into the shop and found he wasn't there, so I started looking around. Suddenly, I saw a semi-transparent woman in white standing at the door. My instinct told me she wasn't human. I was scared, so I didn't look closely. It seemed like she was beckoning to me. I instinctively ducked behind the product shelves, chanting, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha. I hoped that, since it was so dark, she wouldn't see me. Soon I heard 2 car horns honking outside. I peeked and saw a taxi had pulled in. The driver honked because no one was there to refuel. He didn't seem to see the woman in white standing next to his car. I hid again behind the product shelves. Then I heard another car pull in, a silver one. A scantily clad woman, who looked like she worked in the nightlife industry, got out and started looking around for someone to refuel her car. The woman in white suddenly disappeared. Seeing more people made me brave enough to run to the door, but I tripped as if something had grabbed me, falling flat on my face. I looked down and saw a cloth wrapped around my leg. I thought, how is there cloth here? I tried to untangle it, but it only tightened. I wished for scissors. After a while, the taxi driver got impatient and complained, "This gas station is too much, leaving it unattended like this. I'm definitely going to file a complaint." I panicked, thinking, I'm in trouble now. I kept struggling with the cloth as the taxi and the silver car both left. I was so focused on freeing myself that I didn't notice the temperature dropping. Then I heard a cold voice in my ear. "What are you looking at?" I turned and saw a pale, gray face right next to mine. It was the woman who had been watching me sleep earlier. She was semi-transparent. I crawled away in terror. Suddenly, I could stand, and the cloth around my leg disappeared. I ran to the glass door, but it wouldn't open. I desperately shook the door and shouted, "Help." Then someone patted my shoulder and said, "Hey, calm down." I saw it was Xiao Zhang. He asked, "Why aren't you at the fuel island? What if a car comes? What if the money gets stolen?" Xiao Zhang didn't dare sleep after that, fearing I might do something strange again. We stayed at the fuel island until the morning shift arrived. Xiao Zhang asked what happened, but I stayed silent. At dawn, when the elderly and morning joggers appeared, I finally told Xiao Zhang about my night. I told him I went to find him while he was supposed to be sleeping, but he wasn't there. Xiao Zhang found it unbelievable, because he had been sleeping the whole time and only woke up when he heard me shaking the glass door and shouting. He said he'd never encountered anything like this before, let alone seen a female ghost inside and outside the shop. Xiao Sheng thought I was weird, having all these issues the first time we worked together. We stayed at the fuel island until the morning shift arrived. They say that when your luck is low, you're more likely to encounter spirits. I firmly believe this because my luck was terrible then, and I encountered 2 female ghosts in one night. The taxi driver did file a complaint, which got my friend and Xiao Zhang punished, reducing their shifts by 3 days for reflection. This meant they lost 3 days' income because of me. Since then, I've never worked the night shift or covered a shift for anyone. That's the end of my story. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video or share it with your friends. Also, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below.